a big applause for them as well. Good afternoon, I am Zohar, playing the narrator of this play, Mother's Day, written by J.B. Priestley. The play that we are presenting today is a satirical and humorous depiction of women's status in our society that never acknowledged and thanked for all the services that they provide. When the curtain rises, it's an afternoon in early autumn, and the stage steadily well lit. Mrs. Pearson in purple, Mrs. Fitz in white can be seen sitting. Mrs. Pearson is a pleasing but worried-looking woman, whereas Mrs. Fitz is bold and a dominating personality.
It's wonderful having a real fortune teller living next door. Did you learn that?
I did. But will you make up your mind now, Mrs. Pearson dear? Put your foot down once and for all and be the mistress of your own house and the boss of your own family.
It's easy to say than to do. Moreover, I'm so fond of them, even if they are so selfish. I cannot ignore them.
Maybe not, but it would be better for them if they learn to treat you properly.
Yes, I suppose it would in a way. I keep making up my mind to change myself. Oh God, look at the time. Nothing ready. They will be at home anytime. And probably enough hurry to go out again.
Let them wait or look themselves forward. This is where your foot is down. Start now.
Mrs. Faith, I agree with you, but I just can't. And it's no use you trying to make me. I know, even if I promise you, I won't be able to keep my promise.
Then let me do it.
Oh no, thank you very much, Mrs. Faith, but that won't do at all.
You haven't got the idea.
Oh, I thought you were asking me to let you do it.
I did, but not as me, as you.
But I don't understand. You couldn't be me.
We change places or really bodies. You look like me and I look like you.
But that's impossible.
How do you know? Have I tried it?
No, of course not.
But I have. It's your only chance, dear. Give me your hands and keep quiet a minute. Just don't think about it.
After this spell has been spoken, both women, still grasping hands, grow legs as if the light were out of them. Then, both come to life, but with the personality of each other. So now, Mrs. Fitz is nervous and fluttering, whereas Mrs. Pearson is a bold and a dominating personality.
Oh, it's happened.
Of course, it happened by me.
But whatever shall I do, Mrs. Fitz? George and the children can't see me like this.
They are not going to. That's the point. They will have to deal with me. Only they won't know it.
But what am I going to do now?
Just go to my house for a bit. There is nobody there.
You are sure it will be alright?
It would be wonderful. Now go, dear.
Mrs. Fitz crosses and hurries out through the door. Left to herself, Mrs. Pearson begins laying out the card of patience. After a few moments, Doris Pearson enters bursting in love. She is a pretty girl in early 20s who would have been pleasant enough if not spoiled.
Listen, I must be tonight. What are you doing? What do you think I'm doing? Whitewashing the ceiling? Are we having tea in the kitchen? Have it where you like, dear. What do you mean? It is not ready? No, he is not ready. Want yellow silk iron? Do it yourself.
Mama, what is the matter with you?
Nothing.
You know I have been working hard all day and you can't even bother to get my yellow silk ready?
No. Don't talk to me rubbish about working hard. I have good idea how much you do, Doris Pearson.
No, you are doing. Doing only you always do.
I put in twice the hours you do and get no wages nor even a thank you for that. What are you going to wear your jealousies? Where are you going?
I put Charlie's friends.
Why?
Why? Why? What's the matter?
Doris runs out left. Mrs. Pearson chuckles and begins putting the cart together.
Okay.
No,
Why not?
I couldn't bother.
Feeling awful or something?
Never felt better in my life.
What a busy night tonight. Did you put my things out?
Can't remember, but I doubt it.
That's a nice way to talk. What would happen if you all talk like that?
You all do talk like that.
I don't get this, Mom. What's going on?
Changes.
Doris enters left. She is in the process of dressing. Mrs. Pearson exits right. Instantly, Cyril and Doris are in a huddle, close together at left center, rapidly whispering.
Has she been doing that with you too?
Yes.
Well, it's glad. Well, it's glad the both of us. I thought it's only me that I am doing something wrong.
So did I, but it's her, of course.
Well, she's all different, and that's what made me realize
She looks just the same to me. I didn't notice that.
that I was doing. Did you think that she's doing hit her head or something? You know?
Mrs. Pearson enters right. Cyril and Doris try to stop their guffing and giggling, but they are not quick enough. Mrs. Pearson regards them with contempt.
You two are making fun of mine.
Time to laugh now.
Yes, of course. If it's funny, go on. Tell me, make me laugh.
You know, we don't understand our joke, moms.
I was yawning at your jokes before you were born, Doris.
What's happened to you? Have we done something with you?
No, but come in, ask for something, go out again, and then come back when there is nowhere else to go.
Been working all day.
Exactly.
8-hour day.
Yeah, 8 hours day. Don't forget it.
I have done my 8 hours.
That's different.
Yes, is it?
It was, now it isn't. Just watch it at the weekend when I'll have my 2 days off.
Doris and Cyril exchange alarmed glances. Then they stare at Mrs. Pearson, who returns their look calmly. Cyril exits to the kitchen. George Pearson enters left. He is about 50, fundamentally decent, self-important and pompous. Preferably, he should be a heavy and slow-moving type. George looks at the door, then at Mrs. Pearson. Then he notices the bottle that Mrs. Pearson raises for another sip.
What are you doing?
It must be some time since you were surprised at me, George.
I don't have surprises. By the way, I forgot to tell you, I don't want any special match at the club tonight.
That's all right. There isn't any.
You mean you didn't get any ready?
Yes, and a good thing too, as it's turned out.
That's very well, but suppose I wanted some.
My goodness, listen to the man. Annoyed because I don't get the tea ready, which we don't even want. Ever tried at the club?
I bought at the club.
Going up to the bar, telling them you don't want a glass of beer. But you're annoyed because they haven't already bought it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
They laugh at you even more than us now.
Laugh at me, they don't laugh at me.
You are one of their standing toes, famous. They call you Pompey Pearson because they think you are so slow and pompous.
Never.
Cyril enters right with a glass of milk in one hand, a thick slice of cake in another. George, almost dazed, turns to him appealingly.
Yes, Cyril, you have been with the club once or twice. They don't laugh at me and call me Pompey Pearson, do they? Go on, tell me, do they?
Well, yes, Dad, I'm afraid, but they do.
George exits left slowly, almost as if somebody had read him over. the head. Cyril, after watching him go, turns to Mrs. Pearson.
Well, you shouldn't have told him that, Mom. That's not fair. You've hurt his feelings, mine too.
Possibly you had, but what I doubt is your opinion was having. You spent a lot of time and good money on greyhound races, dirt tracks and ice shows.
Yes, what did I do? But I've got to enjoy myself somehow, haven't I?
I wouldn't mind if you were really enjoying yourself. But are you? And where is it getting you?
Might be for me.
There is a sudden knock at the door.
I'll leave.
Cyril hurries out left. In a moment, he re-enters, closing the door behind him.
It's that silly old bag from next door. You don't want her here, do you?
Certainly I do. And don't call her a silly old hag either. She is a very nice woman with a lot more sense than you will ever have.
Cyril exits left. Mrs. Pearson finishes her drink, smacking her lips. Doris enters left slowly, looking miserable. She is still wearing the wrap. Mrs. Pearson sits on the seat.
Hello, Doris dear.
Hello, Mrs. Pearson.
I thought you were going out.
So what's that to do with you? Stop that.
No, it's all right.
It isn't all right. I won't have a daughter of mine talking to anybody like that. Now answer her.
I was going out, but now it's cancelled.
Doris exits left. As they go, Mrs. Pitts moves to the left of the small cabin and sits. She eagerly beckons Mrs. Pearson to sit as well.
Mrs. Fitz, we must change back now. We really must.
Why?
Because they all are sad and I can't bear it.
A bit more of the same would do them good, making a great difference already.
No, I can't stand any more of it. I really can't. We must change back now.
Well, if you insist,
Yes, I do. Please, please.
quiet now, relax.
Mrs. Pearson and Mrs. Pitts stare at each other, muttering exactly as before. They carry out the same action as before, going legs and then coming back to life, but this time, of course, with the actual personalities.
Well, I enjoyed that.
I didn't.
Now, listen to me, Mrs. Pearson. Don't go soft on them again, as it will all have been wasted.
I'll try not to, Mrs. Pitts.
They have not as long as I would like to give them.
I'm sure they'll do better now, though I'm afraid how I'm gonna explain.
Don't apologize. You admitted yourself and you were spoiling them.
Yes.
Anything you would like them to do that you enjoy, whether they do or not.
Well, yes, I like a nice game of rummy, but of course I hardly have one except for Christmas.
Remember, keep first or you have headed.
George, Doris, and Cyril file in through the doorway, looking at Mrs. Pearson. The family look anxiously at Mrs. Pearson, who smiles. Much relieved, they smile back.
Yes, Mother?
Seeing that you don't want to go out, I'll tell you what I thought we would do.
No, whatever you say.
I thought we'll have a nice family game of rummy. Then you children would get the supper ready while I'll have a talk with your father.
Suits me. What about you?
Yeah, that's alright.
What? Speak up?
Well,
What? Speak up?
I think it would be lovely.
Goodbye, Mrs. Pitts. Come again
Yes,
soon.
dear. Bye-bye. This time.
So, in the conclusion, I would only say that mothers play a great role in our life and changing us into better human beings. So, kindly give attention, respect, love, and most importantly, time to your mother, and do not forget to appreciate all the services that they provide you. The motive behind the
We know what we are, but not know what we may be. Today we are going to depict a famous drama written by William Shakespeare, who is often called England's national poet and the bard of Erin. Macbeth is a tragedy. The play's main themes are loyalty, guilt, innocence, and fate. Here
from, Lord?
From the east battlefield, the great king, where the discarded traitor, the Lord of Carter, began to disperse his conflict till great Macbeth. When he deserves that name, converted him into control, not victory to us.
Great happiness. No more shall the Lord of Order deceive us. Go, pronounce his present death with his former title, Great Macbeth. What he has lost, the noble Macbeth has won.
Scene third, on the heath, enter all privileges.
I come, Macbeth has come.
Enter Macbeth and Banquo.
So fall and fair I have not seen. What are these so withered and so vile in their attire? These don't look like inhabitants of the earth. Speak if you can. What are you?
All hail Macbeth, hail to the Lord of Clambert. All hail Macbeth, hail to the Lord of Order. All hail Macbeth, who shall be king hereafter?
What predictions are these? These creatures are delving along. If you can predict the future, speak to me. Predict my future as well.
Hail, hail, hail. Lesser than Macbeth and greater, not so happy is but happiest. Yourself shall be good king after Macbeth, even though you would not be one.
And then announce.
Hail, hail of Carter! I bring the news of your success. The king is impressed by the expedition in the battlefield and has rewarded you with the title, the Lord of Carter.
How can I be the Queen of Cardo? The Queen of Cardo lives, and King Duncan has sons, potential heirs to the throne. This can't be true.
Hail Macbeth, hail of Order.
Can the devil be true? Oftentimes an instrument of darkness lures us into the false sense of security and hide from us the deepest, darkest, greater consequences.
Scene fourth in Macbeth's castle. Enter Macbeth and Lady Macbeth. Lady Macbeth is reading a letter. I received your letter, great love. The worthy Queen of Powder. I'm glad to hear about your success. But your plans were greater, just as witches prophecies. You shall become the king, but you can't ascend the throne with Duncan and Malcolm in your way.
My dearest love, Duncan comes tonight.
Look like an innocent dog, but be the serpent. I hope you got it.
How can I commit such a crime? King Duncan's double trust and his loyal and trusted kinsmen. We will have to proceed no further with this plan. Aren't you afraid? What if we fail?
We fail? Those words don't go together in our case, Master Current. What can't you and I perform under guided Duncan? After you commit the murder, you blame it on drugged gods.
Why can't you take us then?
Look, my lord, I'm a fine lady. It's abhorrent to my gender. I can only wish and plan for your benefit. Macbeth commits the murder. Scene fifth. Enter Macbeth and Lady Macbeth. Macbeth is carrying the blood dagger.
I have done the deed. I have done it. Did you hear a noise? Did you?
And you bought the dagger as a souvenir? Why did you bring the dagger from the place? It must lie there. Take it back and make sure you smear the Lord's blood.
Please, I'll go no more. I'm afraid to think what I have done.
Okay, I will do that.
Lord of great Neptune's ocean, wash this blood clean from my hands.
Clear of this thing. Scene 6. Macbeth enters.
Murder, treason, away, Banquo, away, Banquo, our Lord, Master's murder.
In our house? Oh Lord! Oh heavens!
I repent me of my fury that I did kill the gods that took the life of my beloved king.
On hearing the news of their father's death,
The king's son has chosen to leave Scotland. Now only Macbeth is worthy enough to be king.
Crying of Macbeth and Lady Macbeth. Scene 7. Enter Macbeth and Lady Macbeth.
I still have the smell of love in my hands. All these perfumes of Arabia couldn't make my hands smell better. Am I troubled the vengeful ghost of the innocents? Am I losing my sanity? My heart is deeply burdened by the unearthly act.
What on earth have I done? I have taken the life of many innocents, including my right-hand Banku. What must I do now? Should I take the life of 10 sons? Or will they hand me over to the hungry lions before I could do anything, going against God and my neighbor alike? And now there is no place for me, nor in heaven, nor hell. Can I be forgiven? Can I?